So I noticed an interesting appendix in your book, which is a response to Sam Harris' book, Letter to a Christian Nation. What can you tell me about that?
Well, that was a later addition to my original manuscript, because I became fascinated with the writings of both Sam Harris, Richard Dawkins, and Christopher Hitchens, who are very outspoken atheists. And I have to say that I'm very sympathetic to their views. If one looks around the world today and sees all the pain and suffering, I can see where people would say, where's God in all this? And this is the traditional theodicy question. Is God responsible for all the pain and suffering in the world? And I would say that there must be a reason that God allows so much mayhem to go on. And the reason that I've decided is valid is the idea that people need to have free will, and if God jumped into ethical situations every time somebody was going to make an unfortunate moral choice, then we'd basically be robots. We wouldn't be individuals. And we know that in relationships, if we want to be in love with somebody, we can't coerce them into loving us. And so God really lets us make horrible mistakes against each other for the purpose of providing for the sanctity of individual volition. The people have to be able to make wrong choices in order to learn and to eventually make right choices. So when my atheist friends call to task the church for some sort of explanation as to how God can exist in the face of all the unpleasantness that we see in the world, beyond that, murder and mayhem, they deserve an answer. And again, I've tried to answer in this book that question, and I believe it centers around the idea that for a period of time, God is testing us to see how we're going to behave, and He has to allow that process to go on. He can't just interfere with it at every turn. Not to say that He doesn't interfere. If we are persistent with our prayers, I believe God can intervene if He wants to, but the normal practice is to let that process run, and unfortunately it's had some horrible consequences.